The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like their match?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, guys. What's up? Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sherapan, Matt Perrault. We are live on YouTube at Boston versus the Book, Twitter as well. Replayed on Sirius XM, channel 159, and YouTube TV. And you can blame me for this today. This is not Dave's fault.
Yep.
I am late today. I had something happen today that took up most of my morning. So I apologize to the brigade. My fault, sir. How are you today?
Good. I don't even know what this test was that you took, but I hope it went well. Everything's fine.
It wasn't like a test. Like I tested myself. So because I'm going to do the 13.1 in 28 days.
Yep.
The thing I was reading about it, and it basically said, go and run 5 miles and see how long it takes you.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that this morning. I thought it was going to take me about 55 minutes. It took me about an hour and 5. So it pushed everything back. It screwed everything up. I'm very regimented in the morning in terms of when I drop people off and when I get things set up and when I load everything into the show. So I was like, I'm just going to be late. So we're not going at 11. We're going to go at 11:30 because I just can't get the stuff done. So that's what it was. But I'm on a runner's high. I feel good. It was, it's going to
go to a track or did you just do the neighborhood?
No, I ran 3 miles straight uphill and then 2 miles down.
Oh, by the house.
Yeah, so I just went straight uphill.
Okay, good.
I ran from my house to where you can't run anymore, where all the developments stop. I just ran straight up the hill.
Yep.
All the way past Far Hills and all the way up and then came back down. But just that last mile of straight uphill was, I wasn't walking, but I was basically walking. I was crawling, running. It was like I was technically running, but I was 1 foot in front of the other. I think that I did that mile in like 13 and a half minutes. So it was pretty bad. It was pretty slow. So, but it was good to get the test in. So I have a kind of a working idea of how I'll approach running 13 miles. It's 2.5, almost 3 times longer what I just did. So, yeah. So we'll see how I handle it. But that was the first, like, can you do 5 miles? Yes. The next test will be, can you do 6 miles? I'll do that. And then if you can do all that without stopping, then you're fine to run 13. It'll just take a long time. So I tried it this morning. I thought I could get it in, and then didn't run as fast as I thought I could. So
pause. You said I thought I could get it in. I already heard Addison coming with something or somebody in the chat. The boys, the girls are all here. They're piling in right now.
The tip jokes already.
Yep. I already know what's coming. I already know.
We're already early.
Starting.
Off and rolling.
So,
and the other thing was we just watched the little 6-minute teaser and 3 minutes up, 3 miles up, 3 miles down, 5 miles, not 6 miles. Sonic. I ran 5, not 6. So I'll run 6 later. I ran 5 today, not a 5K. I ran 5 miles. So 3 miles up, 2 miles back is what I did. So I'll run 6 miles later. That'll be a 10K. I'll run 6.2. Will be a 10K. So I'll do that later. But the 5 miles was good fun. That's true, Joseph J. Yeah, this is true. The course is on the strip that I'm going to be running, which is flat and it's 4,000 feet lower than what I ran today. Like, people don't realize where I live and where Dave lives. Actually, Dave has higher elevation than where I live. I think you're at 6,000 feet. I know I'm at 4,500 feet above sea level.
I don't know specifically what it is. I know it's high.
Yeah, you're higher than me. I know you're up higher than I am. So the strip, when we drive to the strip, we literally drive straight downhill. Like, it's completely and totally down. So where I was running is not going to, the track is nowhere near going to be as hilly because it's the strip. It's flat and it's straight and it's lower. It's on sea level essentially. So it's going to be much easier for that, but it's good. It's good to train that way, obviously, for that. So it's Let's not get into who is higher here. Addison, you are. I'm going to say out of the gate, you are on that.
Addison minus 5,000. Dude's on something every day. He's up there. He's high.
Tremendous.
Let's go higher.
How's the view?
Man, oh, Lord almighty.
That's
Goodness
awesome.
gracious. Whatever works.
It's a good
We
start
don't
to the
judge.
show.
We don't ask.
No, we do not.
Come in.
We do
watch
not
the
judge.
show,
Do
hit
whatever
the
you
like
guys
button,
got to do. Yeah,
hit the subscribe button.
We'll all be that. ESPN, the other reason why ESPN just did their 6-minute teaser on what the 4-part outside the lines piece is going to look like.
Starting tomorrow
on outside the lines. And then they're going to run it all, I guess, in order. They're breaking it up into 4 different days. And I think on Sunday, they're running it straight where you can run it. You can just watch it without having to watch it be broken up. It's just going to be a straight, probably 2-hour show that they're going to show you everybody. I was really surprised, Dave. I'll say this at the top. I was really surprised by when I tweeted out the 60 minutes thing. And I said, look, we talked about this on BVB yesterday or today, that I believe that there's going to be some form of regulation from the federal government coming in. And that's why these things are starting. The number of people who said, good, it's needed, we want it. I was like, wow. I thought it would be like universal, like get the government out of my life. A lot of people were like, alcohol, tobacco, the advertising has to be pulled in. And that's what I mean. I don't mean like when I say federal regulation, I don't mean like they're going to go in there and start taxing the handle or those types of regulations. I'm talking about the government telling people what they can and cannot advertise in the way they advertise and who they advertise to federally, not state by state.
We'll see. I mean, they did it with the fantasy. They did it with the other stuff. I literally have been saying it since before it even became legal everywhere else. When I was sitting in a book watching all the fantasy commercials going, somebody's got to tell them to stop. This is crazy what they're doing. They're doing it times 100 with the sports betting. It's times 100. The speed.
You think so?
Oh, it's so over the top.
Did
you see LeBron today?
We got it. We'll talk about it.
I mean, a current player.
I mean, the most
just
famous,
lost back-to-back games.
The most famous basketball player on
the
planet.
most famous basketball player on the planet partnered with DraftKings. Announced it today in the season. A week before the games in
He's
Las
doing
Vegas.
Football, though. It's weird. He's like, he's promoting, I'm doing
Can't
football.
do basketball.
Obviously. But he's saying,
the
I'm
integrity thing would go boom. You know, what's he going to give out the picks on the games he's not playing? Like, could you
imagine? Could you? No. He will. I mean, it's weird too. Like, he started doing it out of nowhere. And people were like, why is LeBron giving out football picks? It's almost like he went hunting for this deal. Like, he wanted to do it. And so he started putting it out, and then he wanted to see who was going to come, and whether it be FanDuel, DraftKings, or somebody else, like who was going to come with the bigger bag to give it to him. Because I was like, wait, there's one football game left. What are we making this announcement for now? Like, this seems to be an odd time to make this pop.
None of it matters. Like, the picks, good or bad, doesn't matter. You're the most popular known person walking planet Earth that plays basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. None of it matters. Sign them, put them up, do it. I don't know.
Flip it around. Do you think Patrick Mahomes could make NBA picks? Would the NFL let that happen?
Why not?
Because the leagues have different rules about what the players can do. Like in the NFL, if you are in the front office or you work in the sales department, you can't set foot in a sports book, period.
But you can have a player make a deal with a league to do picks about the league. I don't know what the rules are anymore.
Right. I'm saying each league has its own rules as to how they dictate what players and what employees can and cannot do. So I don't think an NFL player would be allowed to do that, to make picks for a different sports league.
Can't say one way or the other, way above my pay grade. And I don't want to say, well, can anybody see the conflict of interest there? Because there is no conflict of interest anymore. Nobody even asks the question. Like, we got this guy doing football picks in the fall. Great get.
For DraftKings, it is. Idea. It's a huge get from DraftKings.
Is it?
Yeah, just for the eyeballs. It's a branding deal. It's not.
Okay.
Look, if you're going after the NBA targets a very a much younger demographic than other sports. And all they want to do is target younger people. So the NBA is a perfect target. Get the most popular NBA player who is on the tail end of his career, who will be looking to do other things in a couple of years.
Who's 40.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's not a young NBA player.
No. He targets, but he'll be doing other things. They target young people. I mean, everybody who's an NBA fan knows who LeBron is, but LeBron's, the NBA is primarily a 16 to 30 demographic. So it's a perfect fit for DraftKings. It's a perfect person to talk and have him be out there. It's tough. It's a weird look. We'll show you the ad here in a little bit. It's definitely interesting.
I'm just glad we got Benson on this week before the debut of the Outside the Lines thing, because he was on it. Nick was on it. Derek was on it.
Yeah.
It's fun to see guys that I've known for a long time, worked with, alongside, hung out with, all of the above, kind of get a spot and a soundbite here and a discussion there. And, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can't wait to see the angle that they took, because like I used to say it in the book, in the book, everybody, there's a lot of protractors. They have all the angles covered, and they're going to have their own angle and spin with this. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Vegas is going to be shown in a very good light. I think what they're going to go after is the other states. I think you're going to see, obviously, the NFL, gambling, younger people being targeted, problem gamblers, kids that get attracted to it. I mean, I saw the one interview with the kid that was on the teaser where he was like, this is way more addictive than anything else I've been exposed to. It's way more addictive than alcohol. It's way more addictive than drugs. It's way more addictive than cocaine, anything. This is the most addictive thing I've ever been. And they're showing me constantly advertising. I was like, oh, here we go. Because that's all the government can't do anything else, really. I mean, every state has its own laws. Like if you came in and tried to put in another tax on either the handle or profits or whatever, like it doesn't work. Like New York's got a 51% tax rate. Like you can't come in there and tax it even more. You shut down the whole darn state. So like, I don't think it's going to pass the government. I think the Senate or the House won't pass a federal tax on sports gambling, but they could go after the advertising pretty easily and say what you can and cannot use in your ads. Who can you use in your ads? Like the LeBron thing just seems to be almost like sticking your finger in the eye of the government. Like you're asking for it. Like you're putting LeBron James on an advertisement for DraftKings. Like you are asking. This is definitely testing like cattle when they're in the open range. They have like those electric fences, and they have like one dodo bird that will go and test it to see what happens, and that guy gets shocked to hell. Like, I feel like this is DraftKings is testing the fence. Like, let's see what the government will do. Let's sign LeBron and let's have LeBron do advertisements for us and make picks for us. What's their response to it? Do they look the other way, or do we get shocked?
If you were betting, what do you think they're going to do?
I think Richard Blumenthal, the senator from Connecticut, which is ironic, but he wants to be the face of the anti-establishment for sports betting. He is interviewed in this piece. You're going to see him. He's the one going after our senator, trying to get half of that money that's used for the tax on the handle to be going towards anti-gambling and addiction. And they're saying that's redundant because every state already has it. So why we don't need a federally funded bill to go ahead and push, addicted gambling problems, services. We already have that in every state. So why do we need a federal outlet for this? But he wants to be that guy. So I don't know. It's an election year. That's all I got to say. It's an election year, and they all need
to get crazy.
They all need their, they need their signs, and they need the flag to carry. I'm pro-family, whatever you're going to see from the government, from people who are running for office, that these kids are being targeted. We have to protect our children, all the talking points you're going to see. But I just think this is the Super Bowl being in Las Vegas puts a spotlight on it. Yep. 2024 being an election year, spotlight on it.
Yep.
And the gambling companies are doing everything in their power to bring it upon themselves as to, let's just see what happens. Let's just try it.
What's crazy, because states like Massachusetts made a decision to hold books' feet to the fire with content people. Be careful who you align with. You can't target colleges. You can't even advertise in places where, the certain amount of percentage of audience is under a certain age, all this stuff. And there's books pulling out of Massachusetts for various reasons.
Multiple.
Yep. And I mean, again, people we know, friends of mine, were told one thing, and then on this 1 year or 2 year option to then go full time or permanent, they're pulling back, going, "We're good. We can't do business here," for one reason or the other. And they were holding such scrutiny with the people that were talking about the gambling or who they were talking to. This, like you said, poking the bear, this is a poster that says, "What are you going to do now?" We got the guy with the M number of followers on social. There it is. I love when he does that with the thing. Right
Football
now,
season just got a lot more fun. Let's go. DraftKings partner, LeBron James.
amazing.
If you're someone who's looking for an angle to go and talk about government regulation over sports betting advertising, there is your exhibit number one that you're going to put up, in that hearing when they put those big, those blown up pictures behind them when they're talking. That's what it's going to be on. That's what's going to be on the easel. The picture of LeBron James doing that, going, "So tell me about this picture. Like, who okayed that? Like, who said like this is a good idea?" An active NBA player with a large, a monster global fan base, but huge here in America. Who said yes to that?
I hope they get the whole clip. They use the Bostonian versus the book whole overlay, and us, if they take that and use it, you can just let us know. We'll welcome it. I don't know, man. I'm excited that the game is here. I'm excited that we have people that we know in the media space coming. But it feels like there's such a, I don't know. There's other stuff coming that I just.
Well, look, I think it's pretty simple. I think Canada did it right. I think we can't. It's really simple. If you're an active professional player, you can't endorse a book. If you are a former player, you can endorse a book, but we need to have some type of parameters as to what exactly that looks like. How often, what can you do multiple? How often are you being seen? Like, we just need the guardrails put back on this. The same way we do it with alcohol, the same way we do it with tobacco.
Right.
We have all of these things already in place. We've already seen what happens when you let an industry that targets a fringe, right? 18, 19, 20. Like, they can't bet yet, but they're still seeing a lot of the ads because they know how to get them when they turn 21. They want to be there. It's the same thing that was going on when, you and I were in college and they wanted to advertise saying, "Don't drink your father's beer, drink whatever," right? They knew that kids were looking for other things to drink because my dad drank Bud Heavy. So I don't want to drink my dad's beer. I want to drink somebody else. I want to have my own beer, my own identity. Right. So they leaned into that. And then they came up with like what you can and cannot say and what you can and cannot do. There's no rules right now on
rules.
And there needs to be rules. This needs to be, and it's not, I don't think it's hard or I don't think it's really wrong, but I was really surprised at the number of people who were like, "I am sick to death of all of this. I gamble, I bet, I'm tired. Do something about this. Get this away from me."
I've been saying this literally for 4 years as well.
You got to pay attention to that because that's people who actually want government regulation. Like, they're looking at their senators and their Congress people and saying, "You guys going to do something about this? Because I'm sick to death. I want to watch a game and I don't need my 7-year-old asking me, 'Dad, what's a parlay?'" Like, I understand that point. I do. I get that frustration that people are bringing to, I didn't expect I'd see it on Twitter. The number of people who were like, "Yes, please. This needs to happen. It's been long enough. I want the government to get involved." And you rarely ever hear that.
Well, I got the other side of it. They're like, "Do you co-hosts really think that there's going to be a federal legislation on this?" And like, from people inside the industry,
Sure.
and I'm like, "Why not? Like, who's going to do it?" we've allowed the states to do it up to this point, and it's working. Like they keep talking about moving the goalposts. There are no goalposts. It's an open field, and they just keep going.
And just be clear, I don't mean when I say federal legislation, I do not mean they're going to look at the books or they're going to dictate, sharps versus, squares or like limits how much money, how much money can you take versus a minimum and a maximum. I'm not saying they're getting into the business, but they're going to get involved in the advertising, and that a federal law on advertising and what you can and cannot advertise in sports betting. It's almost common sense. Like if you really stop and go like, okay, hold on a second. It's a vice. We know this, right? It's not about food, water, shelter. You don't need to sports bet to live. So it's a vice. Number two, it's something that's become too much for a lot of people who don't gamble, who don't want to gamble. And we know that kids are seeing the ads like crazy. I mean, in Massachusetts, they're making people who are advertising inside arenas, they have to put 21 plus on the ad now. I mean, it's dumb. It doesn't do anything, but like Mass is at least like showing like, wait a minute, we need to figure out something because way too many kids are at games and way too many kids are watching this stuff and asking those questions as to what is this, Daddy?
So then you get to the problem gambling spend and all this other stuff. And you go, is doing something that's inconsequential more important than doing nothing at all? I mean,
well, I think if you take away
21 plus on an ad, it doesn't mean anything.
I agree. But I think if you take away
doing something
like
to do something.
Let's just agree. LeBron James shouldn't be doing that advertising. That ad shouldn't exist. Like having an active NBA player give out football picks shouldn't happen. Like that. Let's just start there.
It's awkward.
And work backwards. It's just wrong. It's just everything about it is just like it stopped everybody on Twitter today for that very reason. Because you're scrolling. What the fuck is that? Like it literally stops you in your track. You can't believe that actually just showed up on your feed. You just saw it. You're like, they didn't really just do that, did they? Holy crap. And we start there. Like just start there and we go and we start having other conversations about like, it's like pornography. I know it when I see it. Like I see it and I'm like, that is probably something that's going to be made illegal at some point.
Doing at night. This is 2 days in a row. You've made a mention or brought up the word pornography.
Wait a minute.
And
hold on. That's not the first time you've heard that statement. Have you?
No, that's saying, but this is 2 days in a row. We were talking about the show yesterday
was fun.
It was outstanding. I mean, I got a lot of text comments. There was comments. If you guys can do us a favor, there's a lot of people watching the show, especially now after our announcement yesterday. And we're going to have that live show next Thursday. At what time, P-Roll? Is it
4 to 6 local at the moment? It might change, but for the most part, that's where that's when it's going. That's what.
But leave a comment on the YouTube channel if you guys are watching it. I saw Leighton from Australia. He must watch it. The replay after.
Yep.
Francisco popped in late, because he watches the replay after. Leave a comment. I try to get to them once or twice a week and respond back. But it's a great way to get the show more seen. I don't know
algorithm.
But the comments came yesterday. Like, wow, you guys were all over the place yesterday. Like, damn right we were. We kept it on the rails, but we veered off left and right. And my favorite thing about today is going to be about a note that I just got from one of our loyal brigade guys who's been doing assignments for us here and there, following teams. And, the San Jose Sharks last night won a game that they were huge dogs. And so, we got a lot to talk about. Can we mention the March Madness thing now at the top, just in case people want to start looking at the dates and all that other stuff?
I think let's just tease it before we give you guys
it's the first weekend. It's Thursday and Friday.
It's Thursday and Friday. As of right now, okay, and these are all. I don't want to don't put this in stone, okay, but it's in pencil right now. That the first 2 days of the NCAA tournament, we will be at Resorts World doing BVB live Thursday, Friday in our own area with a lot of really cool things going on. kind of all we can say at the moment.
That's good.
But like, if you want to come to Vegas for the first weekend, know that there's going to be a large BVB event happening at Resorts World.
Well said.
And if you are going to stay there, hold on a second. Let us get you the codes, because we've got ways to knock some prices down for you. And there may be a package put together that you can just pay one thing and you get it all taken care of. So we're going to sit down and piece that together. But given what has been talked about for March Madness on Twitter today, come with us. Come with us. We're going to have some fun at Resorts World, and we might save you a penny or two, because, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Are we going to be asking people to spend? I thought the Super Bowl was going to be the one where we turn you upside down and take every penny out of your pocket. March Madness might be worse.
I mean, at the Super Bowl, you go to the game, walk across the bridge from the strip and go to the game. Here, they got the captive audience, and they need the games on the screens. I don't know. March Madness, my dear friend Linda that passed dubbed it Boy Band Weekend. It is so true.
It is
so true. It is a guy weekend or a group weekend. I've seen more and more girls come along on the trip. Guys have brought wives. The wife doesn't spend the whole day in the book, but there's other things to do in Vegas.
Right.
While the guys are in the book, girls are shopping, spa, then everybody meets for dinner, and then you watch a game later, go to a show, do it again the next day, do it again the next day, and do it again the next day. And there's no game to go to because they're in the book. So yeah, first weekend, Thursday, Friday, put it on the calendars. Those are the days. We'll have more details. I just wanted to mention that at the top. We'll mention it again later at the end of the show, but we're efforting, let's put it that way, on getting one of those things where it can be us. I start in the chat every day. We all we got, but we all we need. I mean, it's there.
I think it could be one of the more. You always do this, the first one, to do the second one. And we did the first one, and obviously that went over really well. And there were no games to watch. Like, there was nothing going on.
Well, we had one beautiful day. It was like 78 degrees.
Correct.
June,
the first day.
We had the Stanley Cup Finals watch party.
But that was at night, though. That wasn't during the game. That
Correct.
was during the show.
Oh, yeah, I know. Right. But
during the show, we got games.
That was the
on.
event that kind of linked everybody together, and we had a great time that night. Sydney and Angie helped make sure that everybody got their drinks and all that other stuff. But they came on the show the next day.
Yep.
Like, we had a Thursday, Friday type one of those events. This is going to be like that, but
definitely
with more games going on
all day. So we'll have, the Thursday start of the tournament, which is always crazy. And we'll do a bracket contest this year, and we'll lead up to it and do a whole really fun thing with everybody and being a part of it. So we'll have time to talk and break it down and explain what we're doing, but we want to put it on the radar screen because it is kind of far away, but kind of not. Like, it is 7 weeks away, but like, it's going to be here very quickly. And if you guys are thinking of coming to Vegas, or you can drive to Vegas, or you're like, I'm going to the next BVB weekend, we want to kind of tell you that we're going to have a chance to do it. And look, at Resorts World's it's a monster property, and there's tons of rooms there, but Vegas tends to sell out quick on March Madness. So we want to definitely get you as quickly as we can. Most likely, the hope would be, like, within a week after the Super Bowl, we'll have the full details to tell you guys. Like, middle of February, we'll have everything and tell you with a good, 5-6 weeks to plan out when you're coming, how you're going to get here, all the fun stuff.
If I have anything to say about it, we'll have it by next week after we do the show, but I don't think we will. We'll probably have it the week.
Well, that's a Thursday, and then it's into a Friday, and then the Super Bowl. It's a kind of a Super Bowl week. So my gut tells me that it may be a little bit tough to get everything together right away, but I think middle of the week after is not hard at all for us to really
start looking at flights. Dow, go host the second weekend if you can, because I was hoping Dow would bring KD.
Oh, nice.
And come out.
Yeah, we were going to do the second weekend. That
was the plan.
Covey and other people were texting yesterday saying, wait, you said second weekend. We did say second weekend because that's when we were doing it on our own.
Right.
And Resorts World, has been kind enough to step up and say, guys, we want to do a lot more with the brigade and we want to find a way to work with you. And let's start with the Super Bowl. Let's do a live show at night. And I got a lot of people who were, I think we're going to have a fun crew coming out on Thursday, like media people who are going to be there who told me, hey, I am in town. Where's Resorts World compared to So that could be fun to get them to come out and be a part of that and be around it. And it is a bar. Okay. People are asking, it is a bar and it is a sports book. So it is 21 plus, but there's no charge to get in. It's free. So like you can just walk right in, but it is a bar and it's a sports book. So like kids can't, if you bring your kids to the Super Bowl, they kind of can't hang. But
at the doghouse, they can eat.
I think so, but I don't know the legality
I've
of
gone
that.
to lunch there many times with my daughters.
What time though? Like during the day, right?
I think
middays, right? Not 4:00. Not when when the entertainment starts. And
it was one time. It was after that. Yeah.
So
we might have to sit outside, like in that lobby
away where we right
inside. So.
But just FYI. So I mean, we're trying to make it as easy and as fun. Everyone else is going to ask you for dollars. No, we're not charging anything to get in. It's just going to be a fun time to hang out and talk football and break it down with us. So, okay. What happened last night? Number 3, North Carolina. They were as high as 11-point favorites on the road at Georgia Tech. Tech has now beaten Duke and Carolina.
How about that?
2 best teams in the ACC. Damon Stoudemire. Do you remember him as a player in the NBA?
Yes.
He was fun to watch.
I remember him in college.
Ooh.
Even more fun to watch.
Out in Arizona, right?
Arizona.
Pac-12. Yeah. I saw a cool interview before the game last night talking about how he wanted to go and play in the ACC, but nobody recruited him to play in the ACC. Right. And it made him furious. Like he's like, that was the premier basketball conference. I wanted to play for an ACC school. And that's why he said, I'd take it out on him whenever I played against an ACC school. I take it out on him because I wanted to play so badly in the ACC and nobody wanted me. Does it matter to you that Carolina lost that game?
Does it matter for what? For their next game?
Just anything. They play Duke on Saturday.
It's another piece of evidence how hard it is to win on the road. I don't know how much time we can, beat that drum. Nicholas Caramello just popped in the chat. University of Arizona legend, Damon Stoudemire. You're absolutely right, sir. Welcome to being here on the show. Appreciate you being here. Doesn't mean I am trying my best to not let individual results in January affect the next game.
Agreed.
Like you can't go into the weekend game with Duke and go, well, Duke destroyed Virginia Tech on Monday. North Carolina lost to Georgia Tech on Tuesday. Duke's the side. That's not the way this works.
I don't know if you saw the end of the game, but there's going to be calls that when you're on the road, you're not going to get. And RJ Davis got hit. There's no debate. RJ Davis got fouled at the end of that game. Referees ran off the court as quickly as possible. You're just not going to get the call. Like you have to make the guy bleed to get a call like that. It was a foul. He got hit. There's no debate. He got hit. He should have been on the line shooting 2. But with 4 seconds to go, home team is up 1. If you know, it was with the body. It wasn't like he came down. The defender for Georgia Tech did not hit him. He bodied him, knocked him off his spot. It's a foul. Referees didn't call it. I was on Carolina and I was okay with that call not happening. It's like fine.
Got a text first thing this morning from PSU Sheppy. Big fan of the show. It's been great to reconnect with him. He was my first boss, the sports producer at KDK, who's out of the business now, but still likes the content. Mm-hmm. And he sends me a text that says, I had the wreck and the Cox yesterday. Thank you guys both. And I was like, oh. He's like, I wouldn't have bet the games. He's like, I wish I would have bet money line. I'm like,
right.
Relax.
Me too. Me too. I normally do. I sprinkle money line. I always say take 10% of your bet and bet. But I was like, there's no way. Like, there's just no way. Like, South Carolina is going to keep the game close. They're going to lose the game by 6 and go off. They won the damn game outright. 15-point dogs.
Now, does this one, we just said Does
Yes.
this affect your? This put a little like what
that was a tournament type game. To me, that was a game in which South Carolina showed how to beat Tennessee. Tennessee's got one good player. Got one good player. Guy shooting 38%, scoring 38% of their points. They need help. And they don't have a secondary scorer, and that worries me tremendously come the tournament. I watched the whole game. I'm like, South Carolina is damn good. They're going to be a problem in the dance. That's a team that's got the defensive nose to make a long run in the tournament. I don't like jump shooting teams all that often. Like, that's why Creighton has struggled historically in the dance, because to have your shot go down the first weekend, it can happen. The second weekend, the third weekend never happens. You got to get to the rim. You got to play defense. South Carolina does both. They are physical. They are aggressive. They are long. They rebound. Tennessee got pushed around on their home court. Couldn't believe it.
Saw the score, I think like 15 minutes left in the game, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like, it was a game that a lot of people were talking about. Again, it was that early start, and it was like, all right, what is going on right now? Is this going to continue to happen? And I saw the end, and I went, this takes Tennessee out of that list for me, right? And again, we just said don't do that with North Carolina in the next game, but that result, they better have a really good game next game. Because
even if they do, they are a jump shooting team like Alabama is. Like, you look at some of these teams in college basketball, and not to say there's a blueprint for success, because every team can do it differently, but like, I like defense. You play hard-nosed defense, that travels. I love that. If you rebound the basketball, that travels. That's Houston, okay? You want to talk about a team that can go deep into the tournament without hitting shots? That's Houston. The problem is, if Sheed doesn't score for them, they don't have a score. They don't have anybody else who could score on that team besides Jamal Sheed. So, but defensively, they're insane, and they rebound, and they play volleyball off the backboard. They just go get it. They keep on hitting it, and they just go get it. I need a team that has multiple scores, and I don't think Tennessee's got multiple scores. And then, look, I think Covey brought it up in the chat yesterday. I didn't put a ton of credence in it, and I started to think about it, and I went, man, the Rick Barnes factor is real. Like, I think coaching in the tournament means a ton. It really does. It's a huge, huge factor. It's why Izzo, you never bet against Izzo in the tournament, because he just knows how to coach in the tournament.
You can't help but say it out loud. You can't help but think it when you watch it, and the results bring it back up over and over. It's just one of those ones you're just like, again, and looking back with the 2020 vision, you go, oh, okay. How were they 15-point favorites? How is that possible? I mean, we talked about it. We mentioned it. That just good job. You guys in the chat are doing an unbelievable job. I don't know how to tell more people about the show. I just look down, and you guys are trying to help us tell more people about the show. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. I don't know if any of you have a connection and has somebody that wants a good content show. Tell them about the show, and we'll have another meeting and whatever. But we talk about all this stuff, and then you get one of these that happens. Oh, what's April say here? Truly believe if there were a way to advertise your guys' show and more people knew about it, people love it the way I do. I actually accidentally found y'all. That's wild. How do you find us accidentally?
If you're on YouTube and you're looking at sports betting, it feeds it to you. Our algorithm comes in, and that's how I've seen a lot of people do that. How they'll find the show in different ways. That's one way. Another way is I tend to wear this hat a lot on the Juice videos, and people will be like, what the hell is that? Like, what is that hat? What are you?
I wore it out yesterday, and somebody said, what is that?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. Mikey Awesome. Absolutely.
Dude has it on his license plate. Literally. Yes. He does right there. Here it is.
So yes,
faces aren't on the license plate.
No, but
that's the license plate.
Everything.
Thank you, April.
So,
we live
look,
you too. We really
there's a lot of things that are in 2024. It's a lot of things that we are talking with people and hopefully getting everything situated. The Resorts World deal has been a long time in the coming, and it's a deal that we hope to see explode. It's a test, if you will. It's a small beginning of our relationship with them. And then if it goes to the place where we want it to go, I mean, I was driving. I'll tell you guys this, and I don't care. This sounds a little bit, I don't know, arrogant or cocky or stupid or naive. I don't know. But
glasses for this one.
But I was driving on the Strip, and the person that I was with, we were having a conversation about the deal and about what was going on with Resorts World. And she said, well, you know, what type of advertising would help you guys really grow in town? And I pointed to the side of the building and I said, our logo on that building. And she was like, what? And I was like, I want BVB's logo on the side of Resorts World. That's a goal. And I'm going to manifest that, and I'm going to say it into the universe, but I'm going to put our logo on the side of that building, which is a 70-story high building on the Vegas Strip. So yeah, that's one way how you do it. You stick the BVB logo on the side of Resorts World, and that will help because people will stop and go, the hell is that?
That's 100% exactly what's going to happen. But I've seen things on the side of buildings before that would create a buzz or interest. I still think one of your ideas that said, Matt, your picks suck.
That I want to do.
On a billboard off the 15.
Yes.
With the logo.
Yes.
Would be absolutely hilarious. And then we could
no, it has to be P-Ralt, your picks suck. That's what I want. With BVB logos on the, I can already see it in my brain. It's a big P-Ralt, your picks suck. And then have in four corners, have the BVB logo in all four corners. And then we take a picture of me and you underneath, and we look up and go, there we go. I mean, like, honestly, I want to crowdsource that. I want to have you guys, I want to go ahead and find out how much money it would be. And I want to have the audience, the brigade, go ahead and help us pay for that, to stick that during, I want to do it during the Super Bowl, but it was going to be way too expensive. During March Madness, I want to do that. I want to have a BVB logo, P-Ralt, your picks suck. I won't lose a bet the entire March Madness. It'll be unbelievable. It's exactly what I want. I'll kill it. If we do that, I'll go like 16-2 in March Madness. It can't be more than like $1,000. I don't know. You have billboard experience. How much is a billboard going to cost?
I mean, how long do we got to leave it up?
2 days. Just, first 2 days of the tournament.
If we only do it for a couple of days, I think we could do it. A lot of times those billboard sales are just like P-Ralt.
Yeah.
Would be perfect. Yeah, that would be perfect.
It'd be phenomenal.
That's great.
Yeah. See, you find the show by chance. Winning Las Vegas bumped into us by chance.
Right.
You can do that.
Yeah, we got to meet her in person. She's locally here.
Yep.
So she came by and she put our logos on cups and all this other stuff. And she was handing stuff out. It was great. Made connections with a lot of people from coast to coast. That is a choice. TB, are you with me?
But I'm manifesting that's what I want. I want on the Vegas Strip. I want to have it. I want to have the Bostonian versus the book logo on a side of a Vegas property here in town.
Damn, son.
Just sitting at that light. You just hit that light. You're looking up, and it's just this huge BVB logo. The one right here. that logo right there.
You know how your wheels were turning when we walked into that joint and you were thinking of all these things with the audio and the sound and stuff? You just saying that out loud, and I'm thinking, I got a guy for this. Can I this can just
how do we get in that rotation? How do we
is literally spinning right now?
Dream, declare, deliver. I agree.
I like it, J Buck. I like it.
I 100%. So that's yes. You want to talk about how we're going to market the show and the things we're going to do to market the show? That's one way. That's one. It's free and easy. All I can do is put our logo in just in the whole, like, do we have a billboard guy? Dave has a billboard guy. Obviously. I mean, come on. Dave has a guy for everything, but he has a billboard guy.
I could find out what we could do. I'm going to get options. I'm going to reach out after the show today because you've got me thinking. I'm trying to stay focused on just getting through the next 10 days. Like we have to get through the 11 days, whatever it is, 5 the rest of this week, all 7 next week. That's 12. 5 plus 7 is 12 to do the math.
See, I'm not going anywhere near the Strip on Saturday or Sunday. Nowhere near. Friday night, I'm good.
What if 2 tickets magically appear?
Well, okay, fine. but that's magic. That would be something of an interesting moment.
Because no one in this house wants to go.
Mm.
No one in this house wants to go.
Jess doesn't want to go see Kelsey and Taylor?
Watch a game on TV. See more. I mean,
that is true.
It's legit. Like,
but
she's going to miss a lot going to the game. I mean, you can record it and then see it later, but I was like,
I'll go. If you find tickets, I'll go. I'm in. Yeah, you find tickets, I'm in. So yes, I would change that. I would go. Let me ask you this question though, because I was thinking about this last night a little bit. So arguably, this is one of the more wide open years we've ever seen in college basketball.
Absolutely.
Right. There is no elite team. There is no, like, you could say a top 5, and then someone's going to argue and give you 5 other teams that could be as good or better than the 5 teams you just said. What does that do in the futures market? Does that concern the books? Because I know they would prefer to have one team be great, have those futures be taken, that great team wins, and everyone who's taking the long shots loses, and you clear the board and you win it all. Is any worry about like the 40 or 50 to 60 to 1 tickets guys are buying right now on teams that could make a run?
Oh, it keeps you on your toes, but that's what I liked. I mean, I would like to take a future bet on to win the national championship in college basketball every single day on a different team. And that would give me something to do and move numbers and, have liability on things that I didn't think I was going to have, and then be in with teams that I was like, oh, I like this position. We're building this. Let's keep going. It's boring when there's, UConn is just the same team over and over. They're just betting UConn. They're just betting UConn. I don't know if it's some guys might say it's chaos. I love it. I think it's great. It's good for business because there's so much uncertainty. I think that welcomes it. Like, look at baseball compared to, the NFL, the same, 8 teams every year? It's the same 8 teams.
I mean, I'll give you an example, right? So Kansas, one of the preseason favorites, a team that was in the single digits preseason. They're 30 to 1.
Right. That's awesome.
They're 30 to 1.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got multiple All-Americans. Like, they've got incredible talent. They could be in Arizona for the Final Four. It won't surprise anybody.
And they could lose in the second round.
They could. Duke is 25 to 1 with their talent. I mean, you go down the list, you start talking about teams that made runs. Florida Atlantic, the team that made the Final Four last year, they are 60 to 1. Michigan State with Tom Izzo, they are 55 to 1. You scroll down even farther, and you've got some, monster numbers on teams like Oregon, 100 to 1. Northwestern, 100 to 1. Ole Miss, a team that got mentioned last night on a certain Spaces that we were listening to, they're 100 to 1.
What the hell was that? Not the Ole Miss.
Nasal gazing. That was talking to hear themselves talk.
What is the word?
Navel gazing.
Navel gazing.
Yes, you're looking down at your own navel.
Oh.
Yeah. Looking
That's
at yourself.
a new one. I'd never heard that before in my life, but I like it.
Yeah, you're just looking down at yourself. That's what that was. That's exactly what that was. I was listening to it going, that's what it was. It's navel gazing.
What are we doing?
But I mean, I like that pick though. I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. I was like, I can see Ole Miss. I mean, they beat Mississippi State. Looked pretty good last night. That's why I watched that game.
Nothing that I liked better, like on a slow, like Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I think this would be the first day I would go back to work for the week. I'd be off Monday, Tuesday. I'd go back in Wednesday, and I'd be sitting there like right now. The morning guy would be at lunch, and somebody would come in and fire, Virginia to win it all right now for 200. Like, what are their odds right now? They're playing tonight against Notre Dame.
Virginia. Their
Virginia,
odds gotta be super
60 to 1,
high.
75 to 1, 100 to 1. What are they?
150 to 1.
Somebody zings you with 200 to win 30,000, and you're like, wonder what this is about. Boom, just hit the approve, let it go through, and then you're like, all right, what do I do with that? Do I move it? Do I not? Do I move the other ACC teams down a little bit, go get some Duke money, and blah 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 blah. Like, it gives you something to do, because right now you're staring at the board going, I got some NBA. Okay, the hockey's literally the last day before they stop playing for the rest of the week. What the hell am I going to do? Give me something. Send it. Send it home, Jerome. Come bet Kentucky today. Not just today. Bet them to win it all. It's fun. I love the chaos.
As a book, though, does it give you pause? Are you concerned?
No.
No?
I got your money in January. Stuff's not decided till April. If I can't figure out how to maneuver my way out of it, I should be doing something else. This is great.
We're
give
talking
me a 3-month head start. I'm good.
So we're talking about March Madness. We're talking about the NCAA tournament. I'm just going to put this up. This is our guy Mark. Okay, here's Caesar's Palace, which is their sports book is redone and very nice. Okay, row 1 package is a full day. This is one day.
Are you starting at the bottom?
Yeah, at the bottom, full day.
Yeah,
8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
What the?
1 row seat for 1 guest. Includes 3 drink tickets. It's $700.
$700
for 3 drink tickets and a seat all day. Not, mind you, it doesn't matter what you bet. It doesn't matter what you eat. It's $700. It's right away. 7 C notes before you do anything else for 1 day per day.
That don't include no drinks or food?
Nope. If you want 3 drink tickets and you get to show up at 11 o'clock, which I guess that's a better deal. You don't have to be there at 8 a.m., I guess, to check in or something. That's $800.
Oh, yeah, because you can come in later. Yeah.
If you want to come in at 11 o'clock and a row 3 package, which is 8 to 9, 3 drink tickets, also $800. Row 4 is a full day. It gives you, you can check in.
Oh, so row 1 is like, you got to look up like this. Like it's like sitting close in a movie theater.
Pretty much.
Row
but
1 is $700. Then you go back a row.
Yep.
Every row is $100 more?
Or $50. It's $850 there. And then the VIP package, which if you want to eat, you can have all you can drink package. You can show up at 11 o'clock and it's $1,700. This is per day. This is per day. Or you get the VIP for up to 10 of your guests all day, all you can drink. Arrive at 11 a.m. for $11,500. This is per day.
There's a comma in that number? That's a comma.
It's a comma. $11,500.
Every time you see these things, I think of the first March Madness that I worked here in Vegas was at the Golden Nugget. And we did a ballroom just for March Madness where we set up. Hold on. What are we doing here?
Someone's calling
Howard. I'm getting a call. Howard, I can't talk to you right now. Howard's calling me. We set up a ballroom, and they're like, Dave, you're going to be in there the whole day. You're going to open the ballroom at 6. I said, the first game don't start till 9. What are we doing? He's like, there's going to be people sleeping in the hallway to get into the ballroom, lined up. And I'm like, you guys are exaggerating, right? This is not possible. I get to the book. I get my bag. I go to the cage, run the money, escort back to the book. And they're like, all right, we'll see you later. Perfect. I walk upstairs, get out of the elevator. There are a dozen people sitting, dozed off, sleeping, whatever, on the walk in to the ballroom. And they're like, he's here. We're getting ready. Let's go. They were up and ready to go to get seats in this ballroom.
Yep.
There was no charge.
Yeah, it's like it was
first come, first serve.
Right.
You paid for your drinks at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
They had snacks. You could buy hot food. You could bet all day. We had all the games on in that room. It was a dedicated room. Once it got out, that was Thursday. On Friday, when I walked in with the bag,
you were nuts.
They gave me a standing ovation as I walked in.
That's
they
awesome.
Jumped up and they're like, Dave's here. Let's go. We're opening up the building. Like, because all day you make friends with people. They keep coming to your window. I'm going to bet the next game. I'm going to bet the first half. I'm going to bet this. I'm going to bet that. And it was fun. But Nobody gouged anybody.
Mm-hmm.
People, 700 for the chair and 3 drinks. You're not even good at the math. That's $233 a drink. 233
plus tip.
Forgot about that. If you don't tip them, they ain't coming back for the second and the third drink. You're going to sit there holding that drink ticket like you're holding that first to 15 loser. They're going to walk by and go, yeah. No,
see, I'm so glad you just said that because I had this weird fever dream last night about like all of us going in together on like one ticket for a first to 15.
Oh, how much fun.
Like the whole brigade throws down $10 and like we go in for like, you know, $1,000 riding on a first to 15. Like we could do some really fun stuff is what I'm saying, guys. Like we could do some really, I was sitting in that room and Dave was making the joke, but like my brain, like I was literally doing,
you went like to a different place.
You know, in the movies where like they superimpose all people into the chairs and the seats and like you get that, like that weird dream. I literally did that sitting in I was like, wait a minute. We could do something really cool in here.
Addison said it in the chat yesterday, and I saw it, and I was like, all right, that's a great idea. You just said it out loud now. That would be phenomenal. I mean, it would be so much fun, and it would be one of those ones we could just laugh about, record, talk about, whatever. Just, oh my goodness.
It's a lot of really fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right, the games of tonight. UConn is taking on Providence. They're laying 13 here in this one. This is a 12-point win, according to KenPom, 75-63. On paper, this is a complete mismatch. Providence just took on their old coach in Georgetown, beat them, covered, and now they're on the road. This game is in Stores. It's not in Hartford. And UConn hasn't been playing great. Like this is, I don't know, man.
Too high?
No, I think they're going to house them.
Oh.
I think I'm not betting it, but UConn beat Xavier 99-56. That's after they barely beat Nova on the road. They beat Creighton pretty good by 14 at home, Georgetown by 13. But people have been just going like, okay, how good is UConn? They don't play fast. They've been a little bit banged up. This is a tough spot for Providence in my mind.
Line's still 13.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, total's down to 137.
Slow pace coming tonight. This is not going to be, this is not going to be a fun basketball game. This is going to be like, 25-25 at the break.
Oh, wow. Ugly game.
Yeah.
I mean, you sound like you're saying dog without saying it, but I don't know.
I think just like yesterday, same principle with South Carolina on the road against Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
When you have a team that's going to bleed the orange,
right?
I tend to go, can you have enough possessions to cover? Connecticut is
bleed the orange? What does that mean?
Never heard bleed the orange? These are all statements that people make all the time that you don't understand. Bleed the orange, you squeeze it, bleed it.
Oh, okay.
Take the air out.
I'm saying it. I say it because we got people watching the show that are going, what the hell is Matt talking about? Bleed the orange. I'm just asking you to define it for the people. That's all.
Yeah, bleed the orange, but I don't want to do all you Syracuse graduates. But no, it's the basketball.
What are you doing?
It's a basketball, what I'm talking about. Providence is 136th in tempo, but against Connecticut, it's going to be. I think the under. If I was going to bet this game, I'd bet the under. I think the under
screams under that.
The under is the best play of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Purdue is on at home against Northwestern. Northwestern is a much better team at home than they are on the road.
Has Purdue been blowing teams out at home? Like that's a lot of points to be laying in a game.
So Purdue has won 5 games in a row since they lost on the road to Nebraska. 95-78 over Penn State, 87-66 over Indiana, road. 84-70 over Iowa, road. 99-67 Michigan at home. Woo! Yeah, they whipped them. And then Rutgers on the road, 68-60 in their last game. On the flip side, Northwestern has won their last 2 games, both at home. They beat Illinois. That was the big shocker. Wow. And they pounced, and then they came back and they whipped Ohio State, 83-58. But now they're on the road against the number 2 team in the country. And look, it's just really hard. Northwestern is going to have to shoot the lights out.
What is the Juice just said? This is a revenge spot for Purdue. They've already played this season?
Yeah. Oh, they won. They beat them there, right? Yeah. Hold on. Right? They beat Northwestern. Yeah, first Big Ten game of the year. Yeah, they lost 92-88 in overtime.
They lost
at Northwestern. Yep.
Oh, blowout.
First Big Ten game of the year.
Blowout.
I don't like. I mean, I'm with you. I don't think Northwestern. They're gonna have to shoot the ball so well. I mean, they are 24th in 3-point percentage this year, but Purdue is 38th in 3-point defense. So, like, the only way you're going to get points on Edey is by jacking threes from the outside, because he's, you're not driving into the interior on Edey. That 7'4" kid protecting the rim. So that's my worry. If you aren't hitting jump shots, which is tough on the road to do, you can get smoked.
Yeah. Well,
the game I'm the most excited about tonight is Kentucky, Florida tonight.
I really thought you were coming with the Drake. I thought that would be the one you're most excited about.
No, Drake has been very inconsistent this year. They've got concerns. They have a lot of issues going on.
They're laying 20 at home against Valpo.
Yeah, and Valpo's
20.
Right. Valpo can cover that.
Whew!
Yeah. I've stayed away from Drake. I really haven't. I mean, they're 50th in RPI, which is pretty good. But like they lost to Missouri State in double overtime on the road. They came back and beat Northern Iowa, but they just haven't been, as good. I mean, they're a tournament team. They're 17-4, but against the number, I haven't been trusting Drake to cover nearly as much.
Bear Maulings is off the day shift early. Bear, have a good shift, sir. Hopefully he put a thought in our mind, or my mind. We do the show at Resorts World. He's there, and then he's over there at the dice pit, and we all go over and go around a table with a dice roll or something.
No, he's at Fountain Blue now.
Well, he's both, isn't he? Still doing both?
Oh, I know he's at Fountain Blue. I thought he's at both. Okay, good. Yeah, that'll be great. Let's do it. Let's go over there. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I think this game is going to be wild. So the first matchup
to not cover, Kentucky not cover.
Oh no, I have Kentucky. I bet Kentucky to cover.
Okay.
Yeah, I laid 5.5 last night.
Okay,
but the total in the first matchup was 170. Went over by 2 points. Kentucky's 9-2 to the over at home this year.
Total's the same right now.
It's 171.
170 and a half. Yeah.
It's down. It's down.
Oh no, there's a couple. No, there's 170 and a half. Half 170 and a half and half 171s.
Yeah.
You like it over?
You're right. I'm the same way. Drake is not a good. I mean, they win games. They're 17-4, so you can't say they're not good. They're good, but against the number, they've not been nearly as good as they were last year. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't have Roman Penn. They don't have a really good point guard to bring the ball up the court and set the offense up, and so it's limited Tucker DeVries a bit. That I'm not a huge fan of Drake, but in this game, look, Kentucky. I may have swapped if they win this game here tonight. I'm going to swap out. I was going to bet North Carolina and Tennessee futures. Those were my last two.
Okay.
If Kentucky wins this game and covers, I will swap it out and I'll take Kentucky and North Carolina futures to win it all.
Okay.
Because I think this Kentucky team is special.
Huh.
They got size. They got guard play. They're a little.
Have they played? Have these two that you said they played and it went to 170?
Yeah, Kentucky won the first matchup.
By how much?
It fell 172. It fell. Kentucky won the first game. I think they won by 2 points.
Oh, it was that close.
It was at Florida.
But it was that close. It was tight. It was inside the number.
Hold on. Where's
Kentucky obviously didn't cover.
Kentucky won by 2 points. I think they were dogs.
Okay.
To Florida. 87-85. First game of the SEC schedule.
Do you take any of that into the handicap? I mean, that was when? That was beginning of January or end of December?
January the 6th.
All right. So, I mean, a lot has happened in almost a month.
Well, they got Z. They got their big guy. So, yeah, for Kentucky, yeah, they just got their 7-footer to become eligible.
Right.
So, yes, a lot has happened for Kentucky since then.
Huh.
So, you have a 7'2" freshman who now is eligible to play. So, that's a monster difference than what it was before. And they're at home. I mean, they're at Rupp. I mean, you're going to, they win. Florida's a place to play, but I don't see, I disagree with you entirely, but I'm completely biased. So I do not believe John Calipari is an overrated college coach. I do not believe that. No. So I think he's a very good coach. Just the standards in which you have to live up to when you coach at Kentucky are ridiculous. If you aren't playing in the Final Four every single year, you're not a good coach.
That's your guy, though. I mean, like, that's your UMass guy from back
of course.
in the day. Like,
yes, 100%. That's my guy. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's I'm going to defend Cal and Bruiser. I'll go down with the ship.
I've always been a big Cal fan because he's from Pittsburgh.
He is.
Yeah.
So. And he knows where the bodies are buried in Pittsburgh.
Right.
He's from the neighborhood. Cal's from the neighborhood. He knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He knows where to go and he knows who to talk to. Auburn is playing Vanderbilt tonight. This is the biggest number on the board, one of, at least in
absurd.
19.
Yeah, this is the same as the Drake line. I saw this too. I was like, what is
dropping
this?
19?
How bad is Vanderbilt?
Well, according to KenPom loves Auburn way more than the voters do. KenPom has Auburn as the 6th best team in the country. Voters have them at 16. It's a big difference. KenPom has this as a 22-point win. Auburn has lost their last 2 games, both on the road. We talked about this when I bet Alabama against Auburn, when Bruce Pearl at the press conference before the Bama game said, we're not road tested. We're going to find out a lot about us over the next 2 games. Lost them both. And they looked bad against Mississippi State. The loss to Bama was a competitive game, back and forth. That 3 that wasn't counted, they could have covered that 3 count. They lose by 1, instead lose by 4. Number was 2.5. I took them. I thought they were laying a short number, 2.5 on the road. Lost the game outright to Mississippi State. They got bodied. They got bullied. They lost 64-58. They couldn't score. They couldn't get to the rim. I mean, we're talking about taking the air out of the basketball. I mean, the Bulldogs just completely ground that game to a halt. So now they come back home. This might be a frustration game. Just take it out on Vandy.
Oh,
yeah, this might be. I wouldn't lay it. I'm not saying to lay it, but if they cover this, I'm not going to be surprised at all.
I mean, 19, this screams when you're in the book, you don't even take a bet on this game, period. You don't know whether people don't know whether to lay it, take it, over, under.
They'll be in money line parlays, though, right?
No, 19. There's half the books. You stop doing the money line at 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
You don't even put it in. It's too many zeros. It is. It's too many zeros. That's why, like, taking a shot at the South Carolina one yesterday was probably good. Probably woke someone up when they hit grade. 63-59 dog. Put it in. Like, whoa, what was that? Oh, somebody had the money line? Yeah, I don't know. This is a hard pass. Bye-bye. Next.
What does this mean?
That's his ride or die guy. Bad boys. What you gonna do?
Is that me in terms of Cal?
I guess so, Brother Dan.
Yeah.
Brother Dan's really enjoying this little bit later start time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got his meetings, and then he must hang out at the office and watch the show.
We appreciate
Dan, thank you for being here. Go tell 10 people in your office to put the show on while we're hanging out. For all the guys.
I am going to follow the trends here tonight, even though the bettors are going against me. I like Central Florida tonight.
Really?
Yep. Numbers climbing. The reason is defense. Baylor's offense is good. Central Florida's offense is average to below average, but their defense is tremendous.
Baylor, Central Florida, -3.5 now.
I took 3 last night.
No movement on the total.
Numbers collide. You have the 7th most efficient offense in Baylor against the 8th most efficient defense in UCF. 12th effective field goal percentage to 35th defensively for Central Florida. 3rd in 3-point percentage to 124th for Central Florida, but 71st 2-point percentage to 26th for Central Florida. You don't go to the rim on these guys. You can stand in jack shots if you want, but road teams that stand in jack shots tend to lose this year in college basketball.
Is UCF a tough place to play?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
They, at home this year, have defeated Kansas 65-60.
Okay.
They covered against no, they got killed against Houston, but they covered against BYU. They lost the game, but they covered.
Okay.
They lost. This factors into my lose a game on the road, come back home to be a home dog trend.
Oh.
Lost the last game to Cincinnati.
Okay.
Come back home dog.
The bounce house is a madhouse. Thank you, DeJuice.
Especially when ranked teams come in. Yep.
All right. On a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. What do they care?
I like
this is the Emerson Latzia game.
What is that icon that JC has changed?
He's a Chief fan. He's embarrassed to be a Chief fan. I'd do the same thing.
He's not embarrassed. That guy looks good, and he looks great in the BVB hat in the Chiefs colors. I think JC from KC is working on coming here.
He's not. He just told everybody in the chat he was trying to, but it felt.
Oh,
so
we were going to have him on the show with Rainmaker,
right? Yeah.
We were making the JC from KC 87 debut. It stinks. Sorry, JC.
He was trying to
be on the next time. Plan for March then. Can't come in February. Plan for March.
Yeah. Next game is interesting. New Mexico laying 11 to Boise.
Interesting to who? This is great. When you say this game is interesting, and then it pops up in the graphic, New Mexico versus Boise State, I can hear the brigade going, "What the hell, Matt?" Like,
I disagree with you.
Tell us why. Hit us why. Go.
Sure.
Go.
Okay.
Please.
So New Mexico is a team that's ranked in the top 25 out of the Mountain West Conference. If you're a college basketball gambler, you've been watching the Mountain West going like, how many teams are they getting in the dance? Because they have a ton of good teams. I mean, UNLV is sniffing at it. I mean, it's amazing. And this team in New Mexico with Rick Pitino's kid, Richard, they've won 5 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Their last loss was to UNLV on the road. Since then, they've beaten San Diego State, Utah State, Air Force, San Jose State, and Nevada. They killed Nevada. I mean, yeah.
But
San Diego State is 24th in KenPom. Utah State is 31st in KenPom. Nevada is 57th in KenPom. Yes.
Okay.
These are good teams in the Mountain West Conference that no one's talking about because, well, it's the Mountain West Conference, but they're ranked.
Yep.
KenPom has this as a 9-point win. Good value there if you want to take the dog here on this one with Boise going on the road. I think it's a lot to ask for Boise, but Boise lost in overtime to Utah State in their last game. They're 14-6. They're 5-2 in the Mountain West Conference. They are middle of the pack in terms of numbers offensively, but I want to watch this game. I'm not betting this game, but I want to watch this game. Talking about New Mexico's defense, top 20 in efficiency, top 50 in effective, or 53rd in effective field goal percentage. Good on defense versus an offense for New Mexico that's been really surprisingly good. How much they've been 40th in efficiency, 67th in effective field goal percentage. I would be careful laying the 11 here.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Wow, did you said minimum 5 teams from the Mountain West are getting in the tournament? 5?
There's more Mountain West Conference tournament teams going to the dance than the ACC.
Really?
Yes, really.
I'm gonna have to look at that this weekend. After
take a look at it. Look at the teams that
make a number.
I mean, there could be 6.
4.
Could be 6.
ACC.
There's 4 definitely from the ACC, maybe 5. There's a fifth, there may be a 5th one coming in.
Right.
But on the tournament,
Mountain West, right?
Mountain West is going to get 5, maybe 6. We'll see who wins the conference tournament, right? Because you got bid stealers that can come up with the conference tournaments. I mean, UNLV could win the conference tournament here. I mean, they could punch their ticket by winning the thing. So this is one of the years. I'm going to say this. It's the 31st of January. We normally hear it quietly, but if UNLV wins, you're going to hear a lot of people yell and scream about UNLV hosting the Mountain West Conference tournament every year. Because normally they've stunk, so no one's cared. But they're winning their home games, and they have a home tournament. So they're going to have a large crowd in there for whatever game they win. So you're going to be going and playing a tournament game, and you might be the 1 seed playing a road game against UNLV.
Huh.
So that could get loud. People, they've talked about this a while, going like, get it out of here. Mountain West people have said it's unfair, but they haven't been good enough for it to matter. This year,
it's a fun tournament to go to.
It is.
I mean, they usually come and
I've covered multiple times.
It pretty good, different schools and stuff. I took the kids a couple years in a row, did the whole session, watch a game, hang out, watch another game, hang out. We did like 3 or 4 games when the kids were younger. Cotton candy, the dog. I think we did one of everything at the refreshment stand. I just enjoyed for the basketball. And that was before the apps. So like now you can sit there and We did it last year with Blewett. We went to a couple different games, and it's fun being ahead of the feed.
Oh my gosh. They don't like it, but we do.
No. Get that spinning wheel all the time. What are we doing?
One more game, then we'll get to some hockey. Alabama, the 24th ranked team in the country, on the road at Georgia. Totals 166.
Dog?
100%. Already bet it.
Dog.
100%. 100% dog on this. Alabama's won their last 2 home games. They lost the last road game by 20 to Tennessee. Georgia is in desperate need. KenPom has it as a 6-point win for Alabama. Georgia needs it. Bama lost at Georgia last year, but again, this fits my trend. They lost on the road at Florida in the last game for Georgia, coming back home as home dogs. They've lost 3 of the last 5 games. Georgia needs this W. And Bama is such a Jekyll and Hyde make or miss team. Miss their threes, go by.
Right.
They got to hit their threes. And if they don't, no one shoots more threes than them in college basketball. But if they're not hitting it, it's problematic.
Well, yeah, it's dog.
This will be a fun atmosphere.
Over to?
Probably. But I mean, Georgia's 85th in tempo. So I think Georgia's going to be okay with playing with Alabama to go up tempo with Bama. Right. So maybe, I mean, Bama's 21st in tempo. So I think you will see some, I don't think they're going to grind it, put it that way. Okay. But so I think an overplay is probably, but 166 is still kind of high. That's getting, man, 170 is like, yikes. Getting up there in that, but this is a fun game. So I'm on Georgia tonight with the points. It's gone against me. Every number I've bet gone against me. So we'll see how I do with the reverse CLV.
I like. There's people that literally watch the show, and again, if you are watching the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But then they go and do their own shows or go out and give picks specifically against what you say, especially if I say to bet it.
That's fine.
They're both idiots.
You're
so that's awesome.
If you're doing that in college basketball, you're 20-31.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Like,
enjoy it.
Careful.
Enjoy it. You're losing. So you can do that, but you're losing.
Yeah. We thank you for watching the show.
You can fade my NBA plays. Go. I mean, in January, I'm 3-9 in the NBA. Right. So if you want, so if you're fading NBA play picks, that's smart. But
I don't. Sorry, Will. I don't give a fuck if they're fading or following. Like, I don't care. That's fine. Watch the show. Enjoy the show. Hit the like button while you're here. Tell a friend. And,
do us a favor. Watch the show on Twitter so we can see it. So we can go back and watch and know that you've watched.
Or just leave a comment. Like, go on the YouTube channel, leave a comment. Hey, guys, check it in. Like, Friday's going to be Roll Call Friday.
Right.
Which will be a freaking blast because we're going to have a lot of people. We're going to have props. We're going to talk about whatever, like what's coming up for the Super Bowl. We'll give you all that stuff. What does that say?
NBC tournament in Vegas or Laramie? It's a no-brainer. Yes, I would agree. Yes, I understand.
Never be in Laramie.
But he's making a good point. Like the Mountain West Conference, like you go to San Diego, I guess, if you want. But there's not a lot of places.
You can do it anywhere in a conference, but it's different in Vegas. Like, why do 6 conferences do their tournaments here? This I was thinking about that. We did it. I did the show yesterday with Wetzel, and he was talking about the West Coast Conference tournament.
Here, Big Sky and here, Big West here.
Gonzaga maybe not winning it.
Not making the tournament. Not just not winning the West Coast Conference, not making the NCAA tournament.
Right.
That streak is very much in jeopardy.
Yeah, that was K-Dub. We did Game Time Decisions, and he asked me about that. I'm like, dude, they've punched their ticket here for the last decade minimum. They played a semifinal game and then the final game. They only have to play 2 games.
They basically build it for them. I mean, they basically build the tournament to make sure Gonzaga gets there. They play, everyone plays for like 5 days and then they play. Like, it's like, what the hell? It's not fair. If I'm like, wait a minute, guys. Like, we're just going to completely stack the deck to make sure that Gonzaga makes it. Yeah, we need the money, guys. We're playing the West Coast Conference. Yes, we need the money.
Last year, I went to a couple of the games. They started at 9:00 local time, midnight back east. Like with the last game, the West Coast Conference. I took Kylie. We shot over there. You can hear that it's like being in a high school gym. in that Orleans. It was, you hear the squeaks, you hear the coaches, you hear all the stuff.
We have to go, by the way, though. We have to go see Grand Canyon play. We have to
100%.
We have to go to their game.
100%.
Grand Canyon's game here last year was so fun.
So much fun.
Oh my God, that school is a blast.
Oh,
it's unbelievable. I mean, the
we
band.
may shoot down to a game down in one of their home games. I might shoot those to go down to Arizona, scout some things out. We'll go down and go to a game.
No, the reason why we can't do Matt, your picks suck is there too many Matts in the damn space.
Too many Matts.
It's too many Matts. You got to identify just me. So you got to go Dave's. Sonic will show up. Sonic, come on up. Come up for the Grand Canyon tournament game. Do it. That'll be awesome.
Without a doubt.
Oh, it was, I mean, we just, Dave and I sat down. We were like, what is this? Where has this been? And why haven't we been at these games the entire time?
Well, I went to semifinal game.
Oh.
I went to semifinal game, and I told you got to come. You got to bring Maddie. We'll bring the kids. We had so much fun, and the kids were like, "This is great." The bands were kicking it. The crowd had all the, organized cheers. Made you fun. It made it so much fun. It just reminded us like how much we just love the games. It didn't matter so much about the lines and the bets and all of that stuff. Still just love the game. It was great.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, if you are a college basketball fan, and I am one of them, coming to Vegas for not the NCAA tournament weekend, we want you to come, obviously, but if you have the chance to kind of do maybe a different trip, that weekend is the weekend before March Madness, the Selection Sunday weekend.
The whole week
is incredible. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is absolutely incredible.
The whole week.
It's one of those really,
Last year I
really
went to the
fun
Mountain
things.
West Conference tournament, the Pac-12 conference tournament, the West Coast conference tournament. You
went to the Pac-12 too, didn't you?
What was the one we went down to?
Big Sky.
Big Sky.
Big West and Big Sky.
Big West was out at the Dollar Loan Center, right?
Yep. Went to that. Yeah.
Got to see all those teams in person. And it may have clouded my judgment because I really thought Cal State Fullerton was better than they were, and they didn't cover their game, but I thought they would.
I'm gonna try to get us press passes for all those conference tournaments this year.
I'm in.
We'll do the
show and then we'll just
bounce around. It'd be fun, just bounce around and show.
Yeah.
It may not be a bad idea to get E and just go and shoot content and go
and
all the different games and go and showcase different. Look at it, make different bets, drive and make different plays. Watch the spinning wheel on your account.
So annoying. When you aiming for a lot of money. Like, what are they doing?
Every time Dave wants to make it. Every time Dave,
remember that? I was sitting next to him. Did you get it?
Yeah, we both are making the same bet.
Change the number on me again.
Look at the spinning wheel. Numbers changed. Spinning wheel. Numbers changed. Like, this guy knows I'm here. This guy knows I'm ahead of him.
Yeah. Tied up the account. It was crap.
The WAC tournament is at Dollar Loan Center. Yes, that is true. Yes, the WAC is
fun.
Yeah, the Western Athletic Conference is here. The West Coast Conference is here. The Big Sky, the Big West, the Pac-12, and the Mountain West Conference. Those are your six.
And it's the last year for the Pac-12. I am still not right with that.
Who do you think takes over T-Mobile? Mountain West Conference?
No.
Who takes over? Who?
They're not going to let them out of Thomas and Mack right on campus with the UNLV, are they?
I mean, if I'm a
school, cavernous in there, like the Mountain West. I mean, it's still big in Thomas and Mack, but it still feels like different.
Well, no, it's 16,000 versus 21,000. It's a big difference in size.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a big difference in terms, and just the whole size of the arena too. The arena is way bigger at T-Mobile.
Give the people something to vote on because we didn't give them nothing to vote on all show. Give them something. Are you sad about the Pac-12 ending as the Pac-12? Yes or no? Does it matter? Some people will be like, no, Dave, I don't care about the Pac-12. I become a Pac-12 guy a long time ago. I always thought that UCLA was cool and USC and Arizona, and ended up moving out there. And
fans are still going to come, right, to the tournament, or are they going to
Are they?
I'm asking. I don't know. I hope they do.
I don't know, because I can tell you this. We went to multiple games last year, the Pac-12. The early couple games, like Kendall fell in love with Arizona State because of the cheer, and they were doing all this other
the cheer. What's the cheer?
I forget what it was.
like that.
Yeah,
chair?
they were doing that, and
that chair, whatever it is. Like
she was
not the
she
other
picked
one.
Arizona State and they won, and then she picked them again and they won, and
Okay.
there was no one there. It was an easy ticket to get.
Wow.
And, I mean, look at this conference, P-Roll. How many teams are going to get in the NCAA tournament from the Pac-12?
I'm going to say 3.
Max.
So if you go by KenPom, the highest rated KenPom school in the Pac-12 is Arizona at 4. And then you got to go all the way down to, my gosh, where's the next Pac-12 school? Utah at 40.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, legit.
Yikes. I mean, that's so Arizona, Oregon. I mean,
maybe.
Oh gosh. Yeah. It's just
that's
not.
Those are the 3 that came to my head. Arizona, Utah, Oregon. That's it. That's it. I think that's the only options. UCLA, not in the tournament. USC, not in the tournament.
No. I mean, in Utah, maybe even be a little bit of their schedule is good, but they're a maybe. I don't know. I mean, Colorado is 15-6, 6-4 in conference. They're okay, but like
Pac-12 after dark will be mischief.
Yes, absolutely. No debating that.
Arizona and Arizona State, they're going to be a Big 12 after dark.
I mean, they're barely above the Mountain West Conference in terms of conference schedule strength. I mean, it's not good for the Pac-12. They are the Big 12, Big East, way up there. So SEC, Big 10, ACC, and then the Pac-12 right behind the Mountain West Conference. So, yeah, not good. It's not good at all. And I'm sad. Pac-12 after dark. That's one of for college football. That's just amazing. And what would Bill? That's a good point. What does Bill Walton do now? I mean, what does he do? Like
the Conference of Champions
is dead. The Conference of Champions is no more. His mantra, his line, his shtick, his brand, gone.
I don't know. The Juice. Good luck, y'all. Got to go send out W-2s. Thank you for being here, Juice.
That time of the year.
The show. We really appreciate it.
A couple quick hockey ones. Yep. Ottawa is at Detroit. The total is 7 in this game.
Cautious with the over. It looks so easy, but this week has been very strange.
Yesterday was ridiculous.
I mean, a 1-0 game with Columbus was.
Yeah, the guys seem to be mentally checked out. They're already on vacation.
Right. That's like let's get this game done with and get out. I don't think it's as easy as just betting the over. I don't. I actually looked to bet the under.
Under 7.
Yeah.
Ottawa on the year is one of the best teams over 26, 17-3 to the over. Detroit is 28, 20-1 to the over. 2 dramatically over teams, and we're going to go under 7.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or if this was any other week with the situation and stuff, this is an overplay. But no, this is I wouldn't touch a hockey game today.
Right? I haven't touched it all week. I haven't.
No.
I want no part of.
No.
Not
in game. Beware the puck. Good call, Addison. Beware.
Right now.
Beware the puck.
It is scary. It is scary at the moment.
Very scary.
What about the Kings on the road at Nashville, though?
Why is that? Why are they favored? I don't get it. Dog or nothing. No way.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want this. No. I don't know where they're at. I don't know where this is not
anybody. We don't know anybody. We don't know anybody's at.
Correct.
I mean, mentally, like I didn't even put San Jose on this. That's the 3rd game tonight. I didn't even put it on the rundown because it was just like there's no point.
They played at home last night, right?
Yeah.
They were at home against Seattle.
They're on the road at Anaheim. Gibson against
on a back-to-back. I said
Koeniken kid.
I said it to Wetzel yesterday. I don't know what San Jose did. They have to play back-to-back on a short week when 24 teams are on a bye. They started. 24 teams have no game. The last game they played was Sunday.
Right.
The next game they play is not until either Monday or Tuesday. Literally got 8 days off in a row. And San Jose got to play back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday. What a travel day. Makes no sense. All that being said, no chance you could take Anaheim. No way. No.
No, be very, very, very. Yeah. A lot of no gifts. It's not a bad idea. Yeah. I mean, that's not a crazy bet to come in and do that. But I still, this is my opinion on today, tomorrow, until they start back up again in February. I am not interested in betting hockey.
Wetzel had a good one yesterday. No goal in the first 5 minutes. He started to parlay them. 2-game parlays. Minus 250 was around the average price.
I think, isn't DraftKings the only book to let you do that?
So
it's really rare on book. And DraftKings is the only book I found that will let you actually parlay 5 GIFF, goal in the first 5.
Right. So he did it. He said Saturday there were 14 games. So he did 7 parlays. They went 13-1 to the no. He parlays.
Hello.
So he was all excited. So I put it out there, and our friend Otto was watching the show.
Right.
Or I reached out to him and asked him if he knew what the percentage was. What do you think the percentage of games are that no goal was scored in the first 5 minutes on the season?
On a no.
And my man does such good work that he had
bet.
the answer in a minute.
On a no bet.
No goal in the first 5 minutes. What percentage of games?
58% of the games.
66%. It was almost 2/3.
Because the gift number is going to be somewhere similar to no and yes.
Right.
And there's some teams that are really high in the yes, and some teams are really low in the no.
Yeah.
So it makes sense it falls somewhere in the 60% range for
the boys in the chat said FanDuel allows you to do it too.
Okay. So
and Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers.
Ooh,
thank you, Addison.
Good. Okay.
So you have options.
So 3 books. That's good.
Disney,
none of which are
Ice
legal
in San Jose.
By the way, none of which of those books are legal here in Vegas, unfortunately. So we can't do that here in Vegas. Before we get to Bet It or Book It here, and this is going to be kind of an hour and 40 show because of where we are here with the time.
Yep.
Why do people like betting on the things like the Gatorade and Taylor Swift proposals and the coin flip?
Oh.
Why?
Because one, the coin flip is instant gratification.
Okay.
And
guy placed $500,000 on it yesterday.
100,000.
No, that was $500,000.
So I saw 100,000.
All right, that was $500,000. Even so, whatever. 6 figures on a coin flip, literally.
The biggest bet I ever took on it was 50,000. I couldn't believe it. We were in the risk room. The guy called and said the guy wants 50,000 on a coin toss. I said, tell him, count the money quick. I didn't care whatever it was. Didn't matter, heads or tails. Yeah, go. Print it. Go. Give it to him. Like, I don't know.
You paying juice on that, by the way? You paying juice on might as well on a coin flip for 100K?
We had it minus 103, minus 103.
Guys, you see that? Even on a coin flip, they're making money. On a literal,
you have to put it in the system somehow.
Even a literal coin flip, 50-50 odds. They're still making money.
I think. Well, no, did we do it minus 102, minus 102? I can't remember, but I know we took 50,000. I saw the tweet yesterday from the boys. It was either Purdom or Fox or somebody said the guy bet 100,000, or maybe it was Dewey. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Dewey. You put it out first.
Dewey put it out, and the rest of the crew like.
Oh, that's good.
I saw it.
Even money.
The coin flip
has to be
even money.
Ooh, I like that law. Good job. Yes, some books still offer minus 115. Yes, on it. It's
on a coin flip.
On a coin flip, I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it offshore. I've seen it minus 120. I've seen it favored. I've seen the tail never fails is favored. Like, what are we doing?
Well,
we're putting a favorite on a coin flip.
I guess that's a panic move. I mean, if you just you put it up with just a penny juice or something, that's fine, but you can't make anything minus 120.
DK's even money. Other places minus 114. I bring it up because the question popped into my brain like this. It's like you can't bet this stuff in Vegas. You can't bet this stuff in a lot of. I mean, the Gatorade stuff. I think there are only 8 states you can bet Gatorade prices. Canada, you can do it.
Yeah.
Offshore people. This is like the offshore market. This is like they will put and take bets on anything and everything. Like, they don't care what it is. Like, they'll take a bet on anything you want. You can bet it. Will Taylor Swift be proposed to? Will the Gatorade be red? Will the coin flip? Like, it's such an interesting thing because it's a novelty prop that everybody can understand. And I agree, Raymond. Everybody can understand.
Yep.
And it's kind of like doing the squares, right?
Yeah.
It gets everybody kind of involved with it all.
Yeah.
But there is such an interesting look at the people who are attracted to this, because there are some people who are like, they live for this stuff every year. Yep. They bet on the commercials. They'll bet on who's going to have the best commercials. And I don't know. It's always funny this time of the year because there's this influx of people that normally never bet, but because it's the Super Bowl, they are now into it and they are now placing bets. And Taylor Swift's going to be here, and everyone's going to bet on Taylor props, and everyone's going to ask every bookmaker. You heard Jeff yesterday. He was like, "Stop asking me about Taylor Swift props. We can't put Taylor Swift props up." That I don't know. It's a weird time, I think, to look at all the different novelty things and people wanting to bet. And I'm watching all of the different states. And there's an argument right now about like what color should be favored. Should it be purple? Should it be this? Should it be that? Yes. The McAfee's a reason why coin toss has gotten so big.
No.
You buy that?
No, it was big before. I love that.
But this one, I think Pat can take credit for.
100%.
The kickoff one, he can take credit for. Because that's the one that everybody went, oh. He's like, that ball is so damn hard. It's a commemorative ball. It gets kicked off. It gets taken out of circulation immediately.
Oh, that was a great interview. That was the first time we talked to him in person. I'd been talking to him and the guys on Hammered Now that whole kind of season. We were doing a lot of stuff together. He said that and it made so much sense. And then it was not a touchback, or it was a touchback. Whatever it was an opposite.
Not,
yeah.
He lost. Yeah, it lost. It's that they would not be returned. The opening kickoff would be returned. Yes.
Yeah. My man Koski's just texted me. I'm good for this show with K-Dub. He moved the time. Yes, I'll be there. So
okay.
I told him he's watching the show. The other thing is you don't have to understand offense, defense, football.
Yeah.
You can read anything. It's going to be red because it's the Chiefs. It's going to be gold because it's the Niners. It's going to be blah, 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 blah. The limits are low. The offshore places make sure they can't get hurt. They're fine.
Mm-hmm. Quick, better to book it.
Yep.
Oops. Hey, that was supposed to fire. We will do favorite thing about today on the other side. We'll fire here. Georgia +6. Better to book it. You can get a better number. Get 6.5.
Ugly.
Home dog.
Yes.
Central Florida. Home.
The boys said the bounce house, huh?
Baylor on the road. Scary.
Bet it.
And I think Kentucky lays one on Florida. I think it's going to be a fun game tonight.
3 home teams with this?
Correct.
Bet it.
Dog favorite. All home teams in college basketball going to kind of ride that trend. Road teams have a good night tonight. I may be in a little bit of trouble. it may not be that good of a night. But the road teams do what they've been doing, which is losing consistently and not covering. I do think there's a shot for Bama to win the game and not cover. Because it's 6, but I think Central Florida can win the game outright. You may, if you don't want to bet UCF, you can just go ahead and bet money line. It's 1 possession. It's 3.
Right.
So if they're going to cover, most likely they win.
Kofsky just said that may be the best confirmation for a guest on a show that he's ever had in his life. Just telling him to watch the show live. And yes, I'm on the show. So I'll see you at the 25. No, I like it. Bet.
We're watching Uncut Gems being like, no one would bet a winner of the opening tip. I was wrong. Yeah,
there was a lot of things in Uncut Gems that were not factual. We did a lot of those bets and put them together. Anyone in the business, we were all texting each other like, did you see it? Why did they do it like that? Why didn't they ask any of us to be a consultant? Give us a half a point on the whole thing and we'll tell you how it's done, the words to use and say. They just threw those bunch of crap together and did that. It's no good.
What was the basketball movie he made? What was that called?
Hustle.
My favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time.
Outstanding.
Hustle's amazing. Uncut Gems is horrible.
Movie.
Uncut Gems is horrible. Hustle's amazing. Hustle is so good. That movie
is good. Watch it like 5 or 6 times.
It's tremendous.
Watch it with one kid and then told the other two, you should watch this, and watched it again. Me and Kendall have watched it multiple times. It's fun.
It's really good.
It's a really good movie.
If you guys are live on YouTube and Twitter, don't move. We have more to come here on the other side. If you're watching on Sports Grid or listening on SiriusXM, thank you so much. We're back tomorrow, same place, same time. But for you guys live, you get bonus time. Okay, we go into Super Chats. We got most of them, I believe.
Multiples? I only saw April's.
We got 3. Tizzy Vol here, believer in this team, but the joke about our tournament coaching here is regular season Rick.
Liberty operation.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
Outstanding drop. Like that got me. Thank you very much. I'm going to use that. I'm going to credit Liberty Operation. Thank you for the super chat.
Regular season Rick.
That's what they call.
I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not.
But that's my problem with Tennessee. After watching that game last night, I was like, okay, yep, same old, same old. It's a fair point.
Final results of that. Do you care that the Pac-12 is dying? We got a low number of votes, but more people said no.
Barely.
Like, really?
46 to 53. So a tight one.
Oh, man.
A tight one on that.
I
And then we've got April, as we talked about before. We appreciate April being here. That was really nice. And then the in winning Las Vegas as well. We put those both on the screen already. So appreciate you guys for being here with those. For Super Chats, always appreciative when you guys are involved with Super Chats. Favorite thing about today is what?
All right, let me pull this up.
By the way, I like the ending. I've watched a bunch of different shows, and I've seen a bunch of ending like TV news programs do like their on their way out kicker. Ours is better.
Yeah,
ours is better. This is more fun. Oh, we leave people feeling so much better than some other crap that's on TV.
There is a lot of crap on TV. We're not besmirching anybody else. We're just doing our own thing. And we can't thank you guys enough for being here. Really, really appreciate all of it and the growth. And we're inching our way up to the 2,000. I check it once almost every day or once every other day. And I really want to get that. I just want to hang our hat on that 2,000 for, by the time next week comes on Friday, we'll have 2,000 followers. And that's just a little personal goal that I made. And hopefully we'll get there. So favorite thing about today is one of our viewers, watchers, brigade members, whatever you want to call it. This is a guy that's actually serving our country. This is Josie Myers.
What's up?
Actually, we give him assignments and the guy writes on the side and he's working out, all this other stuff. A lot of times he's a listener only, which again, you can download us on whatever podcast app you have and it gets delivered right to your device. Listen, walking, working out, driving, even before or after a title shot. Just listen on 1.5 and it's fast, whatever you need to do. But Joe C posted today on his Twitter that said, so I was the guest speaker at the graduation ceremony for my class of behavioral health techs, mental health techs this morning. And I managed to work at Boston versus the book into my speech.
You did.
I even got the names of Sports BK, Consig, and Sports Talk Matt in there.
Wow.
So that's minus 50,000 to me. And he put his notes in there that said, always forward, never straight. Explain BVB. Life is rarely a straight line. The key is to keep moving forward. And I just was like, there's a guy in San Antonio, Texas, talking about something that me and you are talking about every day and saying and repeating, and people are repeating this. Now, there's going to be people that are graduating this program. They're going to go, that's pretty wild. And he got that from those guys. None of it has to do with sports betting. None of it is a play. None of it. Sorry, Will. Will's gone.
We're in bonus time.
None of it fucking matters. The plays don't fucking matter. Like, the show does that, but I just want to thank Joe C. There it is. Mikey also just said it. Bringing awareness, to mental health and the service desperately needed. Guys are out there in the service, not in the service, all this stuff. Mental health is an important thing just in life. Male, female, it doesn't matter. But I thought, how fucking cool is that? That a guy who I've never met is talking to a group of people who are going to graduate into real life, whatever it is they're doing, and used something he heard on this show in San Antonio, Texas. Get on board, boys and girls. We thank you. That's my favorite thing about today.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of dovetail on that for a second, and I think, oh, that's great. You absolutely use that. Always forward, never straight. Good job, football guy. Nice. That's cool. You know, your line to me a long time ago, I don't know, you said, I don't know the first time you said it to me, but you say you never know what someone's going through. And I think about that all the time. Like, I think about that a lot because most people don't know what you got going on, what I got going on, the things that are stressors in our life and stressors on the show and stressors just in general. And like, I took a, I don't know, like I took a snapshot in my head of like where this show was when it started and where this show is today. And I think what's so interesting about as this show picks up more and more steam, that people are starting to get the idea that there's something different about what we are doing. And the show isn't what maybe they thought it was, or what they were told that it was, or whether they got a clip or something and they kind of come in and they're like, well, that was a little bit of a different type of spin. Like what's that? And I don't know. I'm in a really good place with myself. And I think that that's something that not all the time I could say publicly, that like, I'm in a good place with myself. And I got crazy like shit going on in my life. Like I've got like absolute fucking drama like you would not believe. And it's not even with the ex-wife anymore. This is in my own family. I have so much drama going on, but it's, you know, people who are seeing this version of me are like, you seem different and your divorce must be the reason why. And I'm like, actually, no, it has nothing to do with that. Actually, like the divorce, like removing the divorce for me took this huge weight off my chest and it let me look at so many different things and address so many different issues. And I think what we do here in the safe space, if you will, right, that we are here in the brigade and we all can kind of share and talk about what's going on. Like that just doesn't really happen in a lot of places. No. You don't have shows that people are willing to write DMs and like, you know, people have been sending us messages the last couple of weeks where just like, it's incredible. Like you guys trust us with a lot of really deep, dark secrets or what's happening in your life. And we really take it seriously. We don't
very much so.
We appreciate it more than you know. And sometimes for myself, I don't want to speak for you, but for me, sometimes like I want to be careful how I answer you guys because I don't know how fragile you might be or what state that you're in. And I never want to contribute to the pain. So like, I just try to like say like, everything's going to be okay. We're going to be right one step before. I mean, it's the same lines with my daughter, right? Like how do you eat an elephant? Once, you know, one bite at a time. Like you just, how do you walk a mile one step at a time? Like you just keep putting one foot forward. And some people respond to that well and they understand it. Some people want more and they get kind of annoyed. You can tell they wanted me to respond more. And so I'll try to give them a little more of an in-depth conversation, but we are in a weird place, I think, in society at the moment with a lot of people who really don't feel connected and need some type of outlet to get the shit that's going on out. And the stories we're seeing from divorce or parents dying or taking care of their parents or being in a bad place, you know, I can't tell you how many times Dave and I have gotten DMs from people that said, guys, I was literally having the worst year of my life. And then I found BVB. And it's given me 2 minutes of solitude or 2 hours of solitude or whatever that they say. But like, it just feels like there's a lot of people who have been going through it that just want to smile. And so my favorite thing about today is that I feel like we've created something in 2 years that as football starts to end, that, yeah, I agree, football guy, 100%. It's about getting up and moving forward. It's the Rocky speech.
Yeah.
And I feel like we give people the chance to say it out loud and to, you know, or to say it in a chat or to say it in a DM and feel like they're okay. Like we're not judging anybody for anything.
The best part about it is it's happened without our knowledge a lot of times. It happens in the chat. It happened at the first get-together. That's why if you can really you want to take a shot and meet some of these people face to face, the relationships that were cultivated from those couple days in June. And I'm not talking about just Sydney and the chair, although that was forever.
Forever.
You know, I think about Johnny Parlay showing up and sitting in the hot tub after we did the show, you know, just sitting there and just hanging out. Everybody kind of going, what the hell's Johnny doing over there? He's just sitting there getting some sun because he's got to go work later at the ballpark. And then other people, and like we all went to eat down at that food court. And I learned more about, you know, Mikey Awesome and Winning Las Vegas and Addison. And like we got to sit and talk. It wasn't about no games. It was just about sharing some time together. Make it a point, and, you know, if you can, to come out for that week. So you guys can do that with someone else. And you have somebody in Virginia. You have somebody in Texas. You have somebody in Escondido, California. You have somebody in Detroit, 313. Like it really, it's different. I mean, we tried to explain it. We can't. And I don't, I'll still try to explain it to people when they ask, but I'm done talking about it. We don't have to talk about it. Just show up. What's the show? Watch the show. I don't have time. It's too long. It's at the wrong time of the day. Okay, can you download it? Can you listen to it on 1.5? Can you watch the replay at night? We're trying our best to give you all the different avenues. I can't make you do it. You know, it's just like having the kids.
Look, the number one podcast in the world is a 4-hour podcast. So Joe Rogan goes for 3.5, 4 hours. So don't tell me the show's too long.
Every day?
Every time he tapes, not every day, but every time he tapes, it's, you know, sometimes it's daily, but he, you know, the April, you're absolutely right. Only explanation is watch the show. I would totally, completely agree.
We live you, April.
We do live you. That's phenomenal. We are back tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. We will see you guys back here 11 Pacific time, 11:15, somewhere on a Thursday as we count down to Super Bowl week, which is rapidly approaching. He's Dave. I'm Matt. We're back tomorrow for BBB.